right, so there are going to be reactions that are going to happen no matter what. We don't care. Sometimes it'll go slowly. Oh, come on, go off. I don't need him to go behind me. So sometimes they're going to go slowly, and sometimes they're going to go more quickly. So one of those reactions is the decomposition of hydrogen peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide is not a stable molecule. It is H2O2, okay? What's this reaction? What's gonna happen? H2O2 is gonna become what?
H2O and then O.
Water and O2. It's not balanced. So we need 2 of these.
And 2 waters.
And 2 waters. Okay, now it's balanced. So you're gonna have, what happens is the oxygen breaks off, and because it doesn't like being bound up in this. This is not a stable molecule. This is way more stable. The oxygen is going to spontaneously break off. Yes?
It's not balanced. No. Yes, it is. Because you have 3 oxygen on the right.
No,
I have
4.
4 oxygen on the right and 4 oxygen on the left. So, so anyway, the oxygen breaks off, and then another oxygen breaks off, and they find each other and they become O2. So we use hydrogen peroxide as a disinfectant because while that oxygen is broken off, it's called what's called a free radical, and it goes around and kills things. It'll kill healthy tissue, and it will kill germs. It'll kill bacteria. Okay,
O2?
and then what?
O2 will?
No, O.
Oh,
O
O1.
will. O, just O will. And then when it finds O2, it makes what? Or when it finds another O, now we have O2, and then that's when you get the bubbles, right? So that reaction happens anyway. Every year we use hydrogen peroxide here in our lab, and I don't store the hydrogen peroxide from year to year. I have to buy it new because if it sits on the shelf over a year, it'll just be weird tasting water by the end of that year, and it doesn't react very well because it'll sit there on the shelf.
Weird tasting water?
Yeah.
Would we be allowed to have it?
No. So, I mean, there'll still be a little bit of hydrogen peroxide left in there, but not enough to actually like be good for chemistry. So the hydrogen peroxide that we have and that you're going to be doing experiments with today is 3% hydrogen peroxide. So if it's 3% hydrogen peroxide, it's 97% what?
Water.
Water. So that is that. This is 40% hydrogen peroxide.
What if it was 100%?
You won't ever get 100% hydrogen peroxide because it'll start breaking apart as soon as you make it.
What about 99?
They'd be really expensive. So, so right now, I bought this at the beginning of this quarter, and it's been sitting in that closet, decomposing the entire time. So more than likely, it's not 40% anymore, okay?
It's probably like 30-something.
So they're 30-something%, but it's still decently concentrated. And it's more concentrated than what you're gonna be using because this stuff, I get burns at 3%. I don't wanna know what's gonna happen at 40%. So I'm putting it in here, and I have some food coloring in there.
Blue liquid.
And I have some dish soap. Now, why would I have dish soap?
To preserve
Dish
the
soap.
bubbles.
To
Yeah.
preserve the bubbles. What are my bubbles gonna be?
Oxygen.
Oxygen. Now, I'm going to introduce a catalyst, and there's something that's really, really important about catalysts. Catalysts get the reaction going, and they get the reaction going faster than it ordinarily would have. But the catalyst itself does not participate in the reaction.
Such as platinum. That is a catalyst.
Okay, such as platinum, but we're not going to use platinum today. Turns out yeast, actually there are quite a few biological catalysts for the hydrogen peroxide. Hemoglobin is one, okay? If you put hydrogen peroxide on a blood sample, it'll foam. In fact, that's like one of the tests that they do to see if they have like a stain on the floor and like the cops think it might be blood. They'll put hydrogen peroxide on it to see if it's blood, okay? If it foams, it's blood. If it doesn't foam, it's not blood. Well, it's probably blood. Another one that catalyzes the decomposition of hydrogen peroxide is mucus. If you have a big snot stain across your face, you can clean it off with hydrogen peroxide pretty easily. Just be careful because it might burn you. And then another one is yeast. Yeast are little single-celled fungal organisms. These are really excited with themselves. They're bubbling over here and they don't even have any food, guys, and they're bubbling away. And they will catalyze the reaction of hydrogen peroxide, the decomposition. So I've got some hydrogen peroxide sitting there, decomposing slowly. So I say to it, I don't suppose you could speed things up. And it's like, can you maybe draw me a rope or a tree branch or maybe some yeast? So I'm gonna find something useful to do. I'm gonna give it some yeast. And it's gonna do that.
Oh,
And it's gonna decompose really, really quickly.
that is cool. That's an elephant toothpaste.
Actually, it's not cool. If you feel it, which I'm not gonna let you
It's
right
hot.
now, it's warm. It's an
I mean, it
exothermic
looks
reaction.
Cool.
Okay?
But yeah, it's
But it is pretty cool. So
Is
I
it
didn't even
Wow.
add all of my yeast. I added a little bit of yeast and it greatly sped up the decomposition of my hydrogen peroxide. And it's still going.
Is this elephant toothpaste?
This elephant toothpaste.
It's a bathtub of it.
It's a bath. I'm just so glad it's all contained because I live with the janitor. So
He'd be like, Mom.
he's like, Mom, you had better not. I'm like, I'll be clean about it. It's fine.
I bet he would be like, Mom, why did you make this reaction explode?
He knows why I made it, but he's like, Mom, I have to clean that carpet. I'm like, it'll be fine, I promise. So, yes, it's all contained.
Will he get to see this? What it looks like?
I'm videoing it. So anyway, that's, that we catalyzed that reaction. Now, is the yeast involved at all?
Yeah.
No. It started it, and then it stood back and went, whoa, look what I did. But it didn't participate. Do I write yeast up here at all in the chemical formula?
No.
I don't write yeast at all in the chemical formula. It is all completely, the yeast just, it's like a starting pistol at a race. It catalyzes the runners, right? They go boom, and the runners are like, woo, let's go. And then the guy who did the boom is like, look at them go. Go with
What
that.
if he shot a bird on accident?
What do you think?
It's-
Don't. They use blanks. They don't use real bullets. So
I think they did use real bullets at one point.
maybe, but they don't now. So so anyway, you guys are going to be doing this.
We're gonna make elephant toothpaste?
Ish. We're going to make baby elephant toothpaste.
Yay!